Hashtag someone you love has a secret they can't hide anymore. Read it now. This message is for you. Something happened last night. Something changed in the energy around you. Something that has been hidden for a long time is beginning to come into the light. There is a person who has been carrying a secret inside their heart. A feeling they tried to ignore. A truth they tried to keep quiet. A message they wanted to share but could never find the perfect moment to express. But now, something is different. The silence is becoming too heavy. The feelings are becoming too strong. The heart can no longer pretend that everything is normal. The person you love has a secret they can't hide anymore. And the beautiful truth is, this secret is connected to you. For a long time, they have been watching, remembering, and feeling more than they ever admitted. They may have acted like everything was ordinary. They may have tried to hide behind casual conversations and simple smiles, but deep inside, something much deeper was happening. Every conversation mattered, every little moment stayed in their memory, every interaction created feelings they could not easily explain. They may not have told you, but you became someone special to them, someone they think about during quiet moments, someone they want to share their happiness with, someone they miss even when they try to stay busy. Someone whose presence feels different from everyone else. Sometimes the strongest connections are the ones we cannot explain. You meet someone, and something inside you recognizes them. You cannot understand why their words affect you so deeply. You cannot understand why their happiness matters so much. You cannot understand why you feel connected even when you are apart. But the heart does not always need an explanation. Some people arrive in our lives and create a feeling that is impossible to ignore. They become a thought that returns again and again. They become a person who quietly changes the way we see love, and maybe that is what happened between you and this person. They tried to convince themselves that it was nothing. They tried to tell themselves that the feelings would disappear. They tried to focus on other things, but every time they saw your name, heard your voice, or remembered a moment with you, those feelings returned, because genuine emotions do not disappear just because we choose silence. A heart can wait, a heart can hide, a heart can pretend, but a heart cannot lie forever. And now, the truth is asking to be revealed. The secret they have been carrying is not just a simple thought, it is a collection of emotions. It is every moment they wanted to say something but stopped. It is every message they typed and deleted. It is every time they wanted to get closer but were afraid. It is every night they wondered whether you felt the same way. They have been fighting a silent battle between what they feel and what they fear. Their heart says, tell them. Their mind says, be careful. Their emotions say, take the chance. Their fears say, what if everything changes? This is the struggle many people experience when they truly care about someone, because real feelings make us vulnerable. When someone does not matter, it is easy to walk away. It is easy to say nothing. It is easy to move on. But when someone becomes important, everything becomes more complicated. Every word matters. Every reaction matters. Every moment feels meaningful. The person you love may have been afraid because you matter more than they expected. They were not afraid because their feelings were weak. They were afraid because their feelings were strong. They knew that once they revealed the truth, Things could never go back to the way they were before. The comfortable distance would change. The hidden emotions would become visible. The possibility of love would become real, and sometimes the reality of love is more frightening than the dream of it, because dreams are safe, dreams cannot reject us, dreams cannot misunderstand us. But real love requires courage. It requires two people willing to be honest. It requires two hearts willing to take a chance, and something happened last night that moved them closer to that courage. Maybe they realized they could not keep pretending. Maybe a conversation opened their eyes. Maybe a memory reminded them how much you mean to them. Maybe they finally understood that losing the opportunity to express their feelings would hurt more than the fear of rejection. Something inside them changed. They began to understand that some people are worth taking risks for. Some connections are too rare to ignore. Some souls enter our lives and leave a mark that time cannot erase. And you may be that person for them. You may be the person who made them believe in something they thought they had lost. You may be the person who showed them that love can feel peaceful, because true love is not only about excitement, it is not only about butterflies and beautiful words. True love is also about comfort. It is about feeling accepted. It is about being able to be yourself without fear. It is about finding someone who makes your heart feel calm. Maybe that is what they found in you. A feeling of peace. A feeling of belonging. A feeling they cannot easily replace. They may have met many people before. They may have experienced different connections. But something about you feels different. Something about you stayed. Maybe it was your kindness. Maybe it was the way you listened. Maybe it was the way you made them laugh. Maybe it was the way you understood them without needing many explanations. Sometimes love begins in small moments that seem ordinary at the time. A simple conversation, a shared laugh, a kind gesture, a moment of support, a memory that seems small to everyone else but becomes unforgettable to one person. Those moments build something. They create a connection that grows quietly. And before they realized it, you became important, not because you tried to impress them, not because you pretended to be someone else, but because you were simply yourself. That is the kind of connection people search for their entire lives, a person who does not need to perform. A person who does not need to prove their worth, a person who can simply exist and still be valued. The secret they have been hiding is that you have touched their heart, you have become part of their thoughts, you have become someone they cannot ignore. And now they are standing at a point where hiding feels impossible. Their heart wants to speak. Their soul wants to be honest. Their emotions want to be free. Maybe they are waiting for a sign. Maybe they are waiting for the right moment. Maybe they are hoping you understand what they cannot say. But remember this: people often reveal their feelings through actions before words. Look at the way they treat you. Look at the effort they make. Look at the small details they remember. Look at how they show up when you need them. Sometimes the heart speaks through behavior long before it speaks through confession. The person carrying this secret may have been showing you signs without realizing it. They may have been trying to stay close. They may have been finding reasons to talk. They may have been looking for opportunities to spend time with you. They may have been quietly hoping that you would notice. Because sometimes people who love us are waiting for one thing: a feeling of safety, a sign that their heart will be protected, a sign that honesty will not destroy what they value, and perhaps that is why this moment is arriving now. Because both hearts are becoming ready. Because timing matters. Because some connections need time to grow before they can be fully understood. What is meant to be revealed will always find its way to the surface, and the secret that has been hidden is beginning to rise. A heart that has been quiet is preparing to speak, a feeling that has been hidden is preparing to shine, a connection that has been uncertain is preparing to become clear. So if this message reaches you at the right moment, remember, someone may be carrying words they have not yet spoken. Someone may be thinking about you more than you know. Someone may be fighting the fear of admitting how much you mean to them. And somewhere inside their heart, there is a truth waiting to be shared. A truth that says, you matter. You are special. I don't want to lose you. I want you in my life. Because sometimes the biggest secrets are not about things people want to hide forever. Sometimes the biggest secrets are feelings people were simply afraid to reveal, and when the heart finally becomes brave enough, everything changes, because when the heart finally becomes brave enough, the truth begins to create a new path, a path where there is no need for pretending, a path where feelings can be expressed freely, a path where two people can finally understand what has been quietly growing between them. The person who has been hiding this secret may not have planned for their feelings to become so deep. At first, maybe it was just a simple connection, a conversation that felt different, a person who seemed easier to talk to, a presence that brought comfort. A smile that stayed in their mind long after the moment ended. They may have thought it would pass. They may have believed it was only a temporary feeling. But some emotions do not fade with time. Some feelings become stronger because they are built on something real. They are built on trust. They are built on respect. They are built on the feeling of being understood. And that is what makes this connection different. It is not only about missing someone. It is not only about wanting someone near. It is about feeling like this person has become a meaningful part of your journey. The person who carries this secret has probably asked themselves many questions. Why do I feel this way? Why does this person affect me so much? Why do I think about them even when I am busy? Why does their happiness matter to me? They may have searched for answers, but sometimes the heart understands things before the mind does. The heart recognizes comfort. The heart recognizes kindness. The heart recognizes a connection that feels rare. And maybe that is why they could not hide this forever. Because every time they tried to ignore their feelings, something reminded them of you. A song, a memory, a place, a simple moment. Something always brought them back to the same realization: you are important to me. The beautiful thing about a true connection is that it does not need to be forced. It does not need constant chasing. It does not need games or confusion. When two people are meant to understand each other, there is a natural desire to communicate, to care, and to be present. The person you love may have been carrying emotions they never expected to feel. Maybe they were not looking for anyone. Maybe they were focused on their own life. Maybe they had promised themselves they would protect their heart. But then you appeared, and slowly, without even realizing it, you became someone they wanted to know more about, someone they wanted to understand, someone they wanted to keep close. That is how meaningful connections often happen. They do not always arrive with a warning. They do not always announce themselves. Sometimes they quietly enter your life and change everything. One day, someone is just a person you know, then suddenly, they become the person you think about before you sleep. They become the person you want to tell your good news to. They become the person whose opinion matters. They become the person whose absence feels noticeable, and that transformation is powerful. Because it shows that something deeper has formed. The secret they have been hiding is not only about love, it is also about the impact you have had on them. You may not know how many times you made their difficult days easier. You may not know how many times your words gave them comfort. You may not know how many moments they replayed in their mind because those moments meant something. People often underestimate the power of small acts, a kind message, a thoughtful question, a simple gesture, a moment of patience. These things may seem ordinary, but to someone who cares about you, they can become unforgettable. You may have been a source of happiness without even realizing it. You may have brought light into moments they never told you were dark. You may have reminded them that genuine people still exist, and that is why their feelings grew, not because you were trying to make them fall in love, but because you were being authentic. There is something powerful about someone who feels safe to be around. Someone who does not judge, someone who listens, someone who allows another person to be their true self. That kind of connection is rare, and when someone finds it, they naturally want to protect it. They naturally want to hold on to it. They naturally want to express gratitude for it. Maybe the person you love has been afraid because they know that revealing their feelings creates a new reality. Once words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Once emotions are revealed, there is no more hiding. But sometimes the greatest moments in life happen when we stop protecting ourselves from every possibility of pain. Because protecting your heart also means protecting yourself from moments of incredible happiness. Love always requires courage, not the courage to be perfect, not the courage to know exactly what will happen, but the courage to be honest, the courage to say, "This is what I feel. This is what you mean to me. This is the truth I have been carrying." And maybe that is the lesson this moment brings. Some people spend years waiting for the perfect time to express what they feel. But there is no perfect moment. There is only the moment when the heart becomes ready. And maybe last night was that moment. Maybe something happened that made them realize they could no longer keep their feelings hidden. Maybe they saw something in your eyes. Maybe they felt a deeper connection. Maybe they understood that life is too short to leave important words unsaid, because the people who truly matter deserve to know. They deserve to know they are appreciated. They deserve to know they are loved. They deserve to know they have made a difference. The person who has this secret may have wondered whether you would understand. They may have worried whether you would see them differently. But deep down, they hoped for one thing: that you would see the honesty behind their words, that you would recognize the courage behind their confession, that you would understand that sharing feelings is not weakness, it is an act of trust, When someone opens their heart, they are giving you something valuable. They are giving you access to a part of themselves that they do not show everyone. They are trusting you with their emotions. They are trusting you with their hopes. They are trusting you with their vulnerability. And that trust deserves kindness. Because everyone carries invisible battles. Everyone has fears they do not talk about. Everyone has moments when they question whether they are enough. But love has a beautiful way of reminding people that they are seen, the right. Connection does not make someone feel like they have to earn affection. It makes them feel accepted. It makes them feel appreciated. It makes them feel like they can finally relax and be themselves. Maybe that is what you gave this person, a feeling of peace, a feeling of belonging, a feeling that they did not have to pretend, and that is a gift. Not everyone can make someone feel that way, not everyone leaves that kind of impression, but you did. You became someone they could not easily forget, someone whose presence created emotions they could not ignore, someone whose name carried a special meaning, and now, the secret they have carried is moving closer to becoming a shared truth. A new understanding is forming, a new chapter is waiting, not because everything will always be easy, not because there will never be challenges. Needed time to understand their own feelings before they could share them with you. Maybe they needed to experience life, learn from the past, and discover what kind of connection truly matters, because sometimes we do not recognize the value of something until we realize how rare it is. They may have met many people, they may have shared conversations with others. They may have experienced different forms of connection, but something about you remained different, something about you stayed in their heart. You became the person they remembered after the conversation ended. You became the person they thought about during quiet moments. You became the person they wanted to tell things to, the person they wanted to celebrate with, the person they wanted to comfort when life became difficult. That is how they slowly realized that what they felt was not ordinary, it was something deeper, something meaningful, something that could not simply disappear. Maybe they tried to convince themselves that they were imagining it. Maybe they told themselves they were overthinking. Maybe they tried to ignore the way their heart reacted whenever you appeared. But feelings that come from a genuine place have a way of returning, no matter how many distractions surround us, no matter how busy life becomes, no matter how much we try to focus on something else. The heart remembers. It remembers the person who brought warmth into difficult days. It remembers the person who made ordinary moments feel special. It remembers the person who created a feeling of comfort and happiness, and you became that memory for them. The secret they have been hiding may be something they never planned to feel. Sometimes love arrives when we are not searching for it. Sometimes the person who changes our life is not the person we expected. Sometimes the connection that touches our soul appears quietly. There is no warning, there is no perfect announcement, it simply happens. One day, someone becomes important. One day, their happiness starts affecting yours. One day, their presence becomes something you look forward to. and then you realize something has changed. You are no longer just enjoying their company. You are emotionally connected to them. Their smile brings you happiness. Their sadness makes you want to help. Their dreams become something you want to support. Their future becomes something you want to see. That is when feelings become powerful, because love is not only about wanting someone. Love is about caring for someone. It is about wanting their life to be beautiful, even beyond what you can give them. The person who has this secret may have been protecting their feelings because they did not want to pressure you. They did not want you to feel trapped. They did not want their emotions to become a burden. They wanted their feelings to be something beautiful, not something that caused fear. So they waited, they watched, they hoped. And during that time, their feelings continued to grow. Every small interaction became meaningful. Every memory became valuable. Every moment with you became something they wanted to hold on to. Maybe they remember things you have forgotten. Maybe they remember the exact words you said during a difficult moment. Maybe they remember the way you helped them without expecting anything in return. Maybe they remember the kindness you showed when nobody else noticed. Those are the moments that create deep connections. Not the expensive gifts, not the dramatic promises, not the perfect appearances. The little moments, the honest moments. The moments when someone shows their true heart. That is what they saw in you, a heart that felt genuine, a person who felt real, a soul that brought peace, and perhaps that is the secret they could no longer hide, the truth that you mean more to them than they ever expected. The truth that you became someone they cannot simply walk away from, the truth that their life feels different because you are part of it. Sometimes people do not realize how powerful their presence can be. You may think you are just being yourself. You may think your actions are small. You may think the things you do are ordinary. But to someone who cares about you, those small things can become unforgettable. A simple message can brighten their entire day. A kind word can stay in their mind for weeks. A moment of understanding can heal something they never told you was hurting. You may never know how deeply you affect someone. You may never see all the moments when someone smiles because they remembered you. You may never know how often your name appears in someone's thoughts, but that does not mean it is not happening. Sometimes love exists quietly before it becomes visible. Sometimes someone is carrying a beautiful feeling that they are still learning how to express, and this person may be closer to revealing their truth than ever before. Something has changed. The energy between you feels different. The distance that once existed may begin to disappear. The confusion may begin to turn into clarity. The questions may begin to find answers, because when people finally accept what they feel, they begin to act differently. They become more honest. They become more open. They stop running away from what their heart already knows. Maybe they spent a long time trying to be logical. Maybe they tried to convince themselves that emotions should not matter so much. But the heart does not always follow rules. The heart recognizes what feels meaningful. The heart recognizes what feels rare. And somewhere inside, they know that meeting you was not just another ordinary moment. You left an impression. You created a feeling. You became a chapter they did not want to close. This is why they have been carrying this secret. Not because they wanted to deceive you, not because they wanted to keep you confused, but because sometimes the most important truths are the hardest ones to say, the deeper the feeling. The greater the fear, because when someone truly cares, they have something valuable to lose. They are not afraid because they do not believe in the connection. They are afraid because they believe in it so much. They know what it would mean if everything changed. They know what it would mean to finally hear your answer. They know what it would mean to step into a new chapter. And still, their heart keeps whispering, "Take the chance. Speak the truth. Do not let fear decide your future." Because some opportunities come only once. Some people come into our lives at a moment when we need them most. Some connections teach us that our heart is still capable of feeling deeply. And maybe this person has discovered that through you. You reminded them that love can be gentle. You reminded them that connection can feel safe. You reminded them that opening the heart is not always a weakness. Sometimes it is the greatest act of courage. So if you feel that something has changed, trust that feeling. Pay attention to the moments. Pay attention to the conversations. Pay attention to the way this person looks at you, speaks to you, and treats you, because sometimes the truth appears before the words arrive. The heart often reveals what the lips are still afraid to say, and the secret they have carried for so long is becoming impossible to hide. A new understanding is forming. A new chapter is waiting. A connection is asking to be recognized. The person you love may have been silent for a long time, but silence does not mean there were no feelings. Sometimes silence means there were too many feelings. Sometimes silence means someone was searching for the courage to say what mattered most. And now, the moment of honesty is getting closer, because some hearts are tired of hiding. Some emotions are tired of waiting. Some connections are ready to be seen. Because the truth has a way of finding its way home. No matter how long someone tries to hide what they feel, the heart always leaves little signs. A person can hide their words. They can hide their emotions behind a smile. They can act like everything is normal, but the heart speaks in ways that cannot always be controlled. It speaks through the moments when they suddenly think of you. It speaks through the way their mood changes when they see your name. It speaks through the way they care about your happiness even when they do not say it out loud. And maybe you have already felt something different. Maybe you noticed a change in the way they look at you. Maybe you noticed that their conversations feel deeper. Maybe you noticed that they seem to want to be closer but are still holding something back. That is because feelings this powerful are not easy to carry. When someone truly cares, they are not only thinking about the beautiful possibilities. They are also thinking about the risks. They wonder what will happen if they reveal everything. They wonder if you will understand. They wonder if you will accept the truth they have been protecting. Because the most vulnerable thing a person can do is allow someone else to see their heart completely. A heart is not just a place where love exists. It is also where fears, memories, disappointments, and hopes live. When someone gives you their heart, they are not only giving you their happiness, they are trusting you with the parts of themselves they usually keep hidden.